Okay, YouTube, we're gonna start by detangling her hair. And she just took it out of braids. It is fresh out of braids. I haven't done anything to it yet. So her hair is probably a bit tangled. We're gonna detangle it with a shower comb. I use a shower comb because the teeth are wide, so it makes it easier. It doesn't pull on her hair as much, and yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna section her hair off. And I'm gonna start combing from the bottom to the top. You always wanna start at the bottom. It makes the hair detangle easier and it does not pull her hair out. Now, you wanna make sure you got a tight grip on the section so it doesn't pull their scalp, so it doesn't hurt them. And once you get that, pretty untangled, we'll move on to the next section. Now, depending on how tangled your child's hair is, you might want to part it off in smaller sections, or the thickness of their hair. Her hair is pretty thick, but it's pretty manageable. So we just start from the bottom and work. Now, if your daughter's hair is dry, her hair is pretty moisturized from where it's been up in the braids. But if your child's hair obtains a lot of moisture and it dries out really easily, you're gonna wanna put some water or some detangling spray, something to help you where it's not dry. Because if you try to comb your child's hair while it's dry, it's going to break it off. Your kid's hair is pretty much like a leaf. Your hair is like a leaf, in the fall when it's dry, it's gonna break. So you're gonna make sure that it's not dry. Her hair is pretty moisturized to where it's not gonna pull anything out. Now, I'm gonna start from the back and I'm gonna part it into some sections. They don't have to be pretty, but you're just gonna part across. And we're gonna put the top in a ponytail. Throw it up there any kind of way. Ain't gotta be cute. Now, I'm gonna part this down the middle. And I'm going to braid this section right here. Now, mind you, it does not have to be a tight braid. We're going to wash her hair with the braids in her hair. Now, the reason why I wash her hair with the braids in her hair is because her hair is very thick, it's very long, and it's very curly. So, when you try to comb out curly hair, it makes it very difficult to keep it from tangling up, especially after being washed. So this keeps it detangled during the whole process. So we're just gonna put some big braids all over her head. Doesn't have to be cute. Parts don't have to be straight. It just has to be plaited all over her head. Okay, so we've finished putting the plaits in all over her head. Like I said, they ain't gotta be pretty. They're not pretty. I've got 6 plaits in her head. Just big, loose braids. Now we're about to go wash. The water to be too hot. Just we'll dry her hair out. Make sure the temperature is right. Now, when I wash her hair, I use the Dove. You really use anything you want to use. I know people are so weird about products, but I use almost anything on my daughter's hair. But as long as it's sulfate free, you don't want to strip their hair too much. We're just going to put her hair under the water. Make sure it gets good and wet. And I know you're probably thinking, how is her hair going to get clean in the braids? It will definitely get clean in the braids. If you shampoo it right, you make sure that you rinse it thoroughly, everything will be good. So, let's put the shampoo on her hair. I like to start at the root. So we're going to make sure that we rub it good on the root. Now, with the shampoo, it's not going to do a whole lot of bubbling because it's sulfate free. And then we're going to work it to the end. Just make sure you give it a good lather. Got some dead hair that's going to come out from being in those braids so long. And we're going to rinse it. First wash doesn't have to be that thorough. Just to kind of give it a head start. We're going to go over it again. I don't wash her hair that often. Washing it too much can dry it out. You want your child's hair to be able to hold moisture. So, keep a lot of oils and moisturizers in her hair. Every kid's hair is different, so you might have to try different things. But I never put grease in her hair. I feel like it dries it out. The only time I'll put it on her hair is if I'm like just putting it on her scalp, like if she has braids or something. But you can always use like oil sheen or oil-based grease, hair grease. Like olive oil, something like that. Most everything that I put on her hair, you can find at like Walmart, the dollar store, wherever. As you can see, my baby has a head full of hair, so it all works. Now, that time will work that pretty good. Lather. Gonna make sure that you rinse it out good. Make sure you rinse through each of the braids. So there's no more suds. Make sure you get in between the roots. Okay, now we're going to use the conditioner. Some people like to leave conditioner in the hair, let it sit. You can do that. I usually just make sure that it's worked in real good and rinse it out because I always let oil sit on her hair afterwards, and that usually gives it the moisture that it needs. So, just going to put a good amount of conditioner in and rub it in real good. Help you get that smooth texture that you want. And rinse it out. Rinse it out real good. You don't want to leave it in there. Squeeze the braids a little bit so you get all of it out. Get up, baby. There you go. And now we're done with that. I'm gonna let her dry her hair. And we'll go to the next part. Okay, we're finished washing it, conditioning it. Now we're gonna put oil in her hair. And I use black castor oil, the coconut growth oil, and peppermint oil. Now, if you want to do like more of a hot oil treatment type thing where you leave it on for a while, then you would apply more oil and then rinse it out, and then might put some in there afterwards, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna leave this oil in her hair, so I'm not gonna put that much on there because I don't want it to be too, greasy. I'm starting with the peppermint oil, just putting, a little bit, rubbing it on each braid, all the way to the ends. Make sure you get the ends. This is gonna give her hair the moisture that it needs, and some of the protection that she's gonna need. I don't always blow dry her hair because heat will damage your hair, but for this video I will. And it's okay to blow dry your hair as long as you're not doing it all the time, because heat will damage your hair. But I'm gonna blow dry it today. So now I'm using the black castor oil. That is a very thick oil, so you don't need a lot of it. And here's the coconut oil. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this handy dandy Walmart bag because we ran out of shower caps. And just put it over her hair. Wrap the back, tuck it. Make sure she ain't suffocating or anything. You good?
Yeah.
All right. She's good. We're good. Everybody's good. We're just gonna blow dry over it. Let it seal in some of that moisture. At least just let it get warm. There's a good, warmth to it. Let it seal in the moisture before I go ahead and blow dry. Got it nice and warm. Now, while I'm blow drying her hair, if you have, heat protectant, you can use that. Use whatever you need to use. I'm not gonna use any today, but her hair is oiled very good, moisturized. So you're gonna take the braids down one at a time. And the braid that you took down is the section we're gonna blow dry. I'm gonna blow dry her hair because, we got things to do. Now, if y'all are just gonna be sitting around the house all day, you can leave the braids in until they dry and then comb it out. When you're done, you have clean, dry, manageable hair. which you can just comb out. Now you see how easy it was for me to comb her hair out. So I'm gonna start with the shower comb. Over our hair. Put these other sections up in the ponytail so my comb doesn't catch them. With a powder brush. This powder brush has been through some things, but it does the job. I'm not putting the blow dryer directly on the powder brush. We're gonna give it some space, just enough to kind of straighten it out just a bit so it's not as frizzy. Your blow dryer does not have to be on a high heat setting. It can honestly, if you have the option, be on a cool setting. But you see how easy her hair is to comb through. It's soft from the oil. It's moisturized. It's gonna be easy to do. It's not hot. Her hair is not hot because I don't have the blow dryer on high heat. What we're gonna do is less damage as possible. But if you don't want to blow dry their hair at all, you can just do like a twist out. If you want, the curl look to it, just twist it out, whatever. But I usually keep my daughter's hair in braids, for one, because I don't like doing it all the time, and it lasts longer, and she's not messing with it as much. So. See how easily this brush is going through her hair. I mean, that is crazy. Now, I'm gonna do that all over her head. We're gonna take each braid down one by one and just do the same thing. Since this piece is thicker, we're going to start again with the shower comb. Start at the bottom. It's not even tangled. It's going through wonderfully. And now her hair is completely washed, detangled, and ready to be styled.